The city screamed. Neon lights pulsed like a heartbeat, painting the night in electric blues and pinks. Erin stood on her balcony, her bare feet cold against the steel floor. The air smelled of burnt circuits and of wet concrete, sharp and alive. Her eyes burned, not from tears, but from the chip in her brain that never let them close. At 3 a.m., Nova City was louder than ever. Horns blaring, drones humming, screens shouting ads. She pressed her fingers to her. She pressed her fingers to her temple, feeling the tiny scar where the chip was planted. It buzzed softly, a faint vibration that promised endless energy. No sleep, no rest, just life, raw and relentless, flooding her senses. Erin was 24, and she hadn't slept in 2 years. In 2045, Nova City was a beast that never slept. Skyscrapers clawed the sky, their glass faces reflecting a million glowing billboards. The streets below churned with people, their voices a chaotic symphony of laughter and shouts. Erin loved it once. The chaos, the pulse, the feeling of being part of something unstoppable. She was a coder, a dreamer, a girl who wanted to swallow the world whole. When Neurosync offered her the chip, a trial for limitless productivity, she didn't hesitate. The surgery was quick, the scar small, hidden under her dark curls. The chip was a miracle. It turned off her need for sleep, sharpened her mind, made colors brighter, sounds clearer. She tasted coffee like it was poetry, felt the wind like a lover's touch. At first, she thought she'd won the future. Erin's apartment was a tiny box on the 87th floor. The walls glowed with soft holographic displays, shifting from starry skies to ocean waves. She sat at her desk, her fingers dancing over a touchscreen keyboard. Lines of code flowed from her mind, perfect and unbroken. The chip hummed, feeding her focus, banishing fatigue. She worked for hours, building apps that evicted people's desires before they knew them. Her clients called her a genius. Her bank account grew, but her favorite moments were at dawn, when the city's lights dimmed and the first rays of sun hit the skyline. The air smelled of dew and diesel, a strange mix that felt like home. She'd lean against the balcony railing, her skin prickling in the cool morning breeze. The world was hers to devour. One night, a message blinked on her screen. Meet us at Pulse Club. You're the star. It was from NovaStream, the city's biggest media platform. Erin frowned, her stomach twisting with unease. She didn't want fame. She wanted to create, to learn, to live. But the chip whispered, go, see, no. Pulse Club was a riot of sound light. Bass thumped like a second pulse in her chest. Strobe lights flashed, turning faces into fleeting masks. Smiling, sweating, screaming. The air smelled of sweet cocktails and synthetic smoke. A woman in a silver suit grabbed Erin's arm, her grip cold and firm. You're the always-on girl, she said, her voice sharp over the music. Erin froze. How did they know? The woman was Lena Voss, NovaStream's top reporter. Her eyes glittered like the city's neon, hungry and unblinking. We heard about your chip, Lena said, her lips curling into a smile. Neurosync's secret project. A human who never sleeps. Think of the story. Erin's throat tightened. She tasted bile, bitter, and sharp. I'm not a story, she said, her voice barely audible. But Lena's camera drone was already circling, its red light winking like a predator's eye. The crowd pressed closer, their breath hot, their whispers buzzing like static. Erin's chip pulsed, urging her to run, but her legs felt heavy, rooted. She was trapped in the light. The next day, Erin's face was everywhere. Billboards flashed her image. Dark eye wide, curls wild. The words, always, on Erin in bold. Her inbox overflowed with messages. Fans, haters, companies offering deals. She sat on her couch, the fabric rough against her skin, her heart pounding. The cities outside roared, but now it felt like a cage. She touched the scar on her temple. The chips hum louder now, almost angry. Her phone buzzed with a call from Neurosync. "We're proud of you," said Dr. Kwon, the chip's creator. His voice was smooth, like polished glass, but it made her skin crawl. "This is your chance to show the world what the chip can do." Erin wanted to scream, but her voice was gone. At the Neurosync lab, the air smelled of antiseptic and metal. Dr. Kwon's office was stark, all white walls and cold steel. Erin sat across from him, her fingers twisting in her lap. The chip's hum was a constant now, like a mosquito she couldn't swat. "Your brain activity is intense," Dr. Kwon said, his eyes scanning a holographic chart. The chart glowed, jagged lines spiking like a city skyline. "You're pushing the chip too hard. You need to slow down." "Slow down?" Erin laughed, a brittle sound. "I don't sleep. I don't stop. That's the point, isn't it?" Dr. Kwon's face tightened, his lips thin as a blade. "There's a rest mode," he said, "a setting to mimic sleep. It could save your brain." Erin's chest burned. Save her brain, or cage her soul. The city didn't care about her soul. NovaStream's cameras followed her everywhere. Drones hovering like vultures, their lenses glinting. Strangers stopped her on the street, their voices loud, their hands grabbing. "You're the future," one shouted, his breath sour with cheap beer. Erin's chip screamed, amplifying every sound, every touch. The smell of fried street food turned her stomach. The neon lights burned her eyes. Too bright, too sharp. She ran to her apartment, locking the door, her breath ragged. The holographic walls flickered, showing a forest now, green and quiet. But the silence was a lie. The city's hum seeped through the walls. Erin curled up on the floor, her skin clammy, her heart racing. She was drowning in light. One night, she met Kai at a rooftop cafe. The air was thick with the scent of jasmine and smog. Kai was a hacker, his fingers stained with ink, his eyes soft but sharp. He leaned across the table, his voice low, like a secret. "I've seen your code," he said. "It's beautiful. But you're not just code, Erin. You're human." Erin's throat ached. No one had called her human in months. She sipped her tea, the warmth spreading through her chest, grounding her. Kai's hand brushed hers, rough but gentle, and for a moment, the chip's hum faded. He told her stories of old Earth, before chips, before Nova City, when people slept under stars. His words painted pictures, soft grass underfoot, the smell of rain, the quiet of night. Erin wanted that quiet, but quiet was impossible. NovaStream aired a documentary, "The Girl Who Never Sleeps." Clips of Erin coding, running, laughing, flashed across every screen in the city. Her life was dissected. Her thoughts, her dreams, her scar. The chip buzzed louder, a warning. Her vision blurred, colors bleeding into each other. She tasted metal, sharp and cold, like blood. At the lab, Dr. Kwon's voice was urgent now. "Your neural pathways are fraying," he said. "The chip can't handle this much input. Use the rest mode, Erin." She stared at him, her hands trembling. Rest mode meant darkness, stillness, losing the world. "I'd rather burn out than fade," she whispered. Dr. Kwan's eyes darkened, but he said nothing. Kai found her at the city's edge, where skyscrapers gave way to rusted warehouses. The air smelled of salt and decay, the ocean nearby but hidden in the dark. Erin stood on a broken pier, her sneakers soaked, the wood splintered under her feet. The chip was screaming now, a high-pitched whine in her skull. "I can't stop," she told Kai, her voice cracking. "There's so much to see, to know. If I rest, I'll miss it." Kai's hand cupped her face, his skin warm against her cold cheek. "You're enough," he said. "You don't need to be always on to be alive." Erin's eyes stung, not from the chip, but from tears. She hadn't cried since the surgery. The ocean roared below, a deep, endless sound that drowned the city's noise. The media frenzy grew. Drones followed Erin to work, to the cafe, to the pier. Their lights blinked like eyes, unblinking, merciless. Strangers sent messages. "You're our hero. You're a freak." Erin's apartment felt smaller, the walls closing in, the holograms mocking her with fake skies. She stopped coding, her fingers too shaky to type. The chip's hum was a roar now, a storm in her head. She tasted ash, smelled burning wires. Her skin felt raw, every touch like fire. One night, she collapsed on her balcony, the seal cold against her cheek. The city's lights pulsed, but they felt distant, fading. She whispered Kai's name, but he wasn't there. At the lab, Dr. Kwan strapped her to a chair, his hands steady but his eyes afraid. The air was sterile, sharp, with the sting of alcohol. "We're activating rest mode," he said. "No choice now. Your brain's shutting down." Erin's heart pounded, a drumbeat against her ribs. "No," she gasped. "I want to see. I want to know." The chip screamed, then went silent. Darkness swallowed her, thick and heavy, like sinking into tar. For the first time in years, she felt nothing. No lights, no sounds, no world. When she woke, the lab was quiet, the air cool against her skin. Dr. Kwan's face was pale. "You slept?" he said. 8 hours. Erin's chest ached empty. The world felt dull, gray, like a screen gone blank. Kai took her to the rooftop cafe again. The jasmine scent was gone, replaced by the city's usual smog. Erin sipped her tea, but it tasted flat, like water. The chip was quiet now, its hum a faint whisper. She felt heavy, her limbs slow, her mind foggy. "I'm normal now," she said, her voice hollow. Kai's eyes softened, but he didn't speak. He held her hand, his fingers warm, grounding. The city roared below, its lights brighter than ever. But Erin didn't care. She wanted the stars, the grass, the quiet Kai had described. But they were gone, buried in concrete and neon. One night, Erin climbed to the highest tower in Nova City. The wind was sharp, cutting through her jacket, smelling of ozone and rain. The skyline stretched before her, a sea of light that never dimmed. Her scar itched, the chip silent but still there, a ghost in her brain. She thought of old Earth, of people who slept under open skies, their dreams soft and free. She thought of Kai, his stories, his touch. She thought of a world she'd wanted to devour, now too big, too loud. The chip could be turned on again, Dr. Kwan had said. She could be always on, burning bright, until she burned out. Or she could stay in the dark, slow and human, missing half the world. Erin stood on the edge, her sneakers gripping the cold steel. The sea screamed below, alive, endless. She closed her eyes, feeling the wind, hearing the roar, tasting the salt of tears. What would she choose?